Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the Roundtable. This is Ramadan Synchronized with me, Aisha Khan. Now, the Muslim community is a global community of diversity, variety, and color. We are taught to accept every Muslim and non-Muslim with complete disregard to their color, nationality, or ethnicity. Yet somehow, black Muslims and Muslims of color in general experience racism from our brothers and sisters in Islam. Every attempt to tackle these issues has been swept underneath the rug with the phrase, "One Ummah, brother, we do not accept racism in Islam." Yet, it is happening in intercultural marriages. It is happening in our mosques and in our homes. A perfect example is the companion of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Bilal was a slave. He was black and he was the first muaddin. Yet, we still choose to dehumanize the black, and also other races are facing racism. Now, I have a beautiful panel with me here, and today we're going to discuss in depth about this. Remember, these are just our opinions and our experiences. We are still striving and learning to be better Muslims, and this program is aimed to make us one ummah and not to divide us. Now, in studios, we also have Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome and also Ustadha Hafswa Diko, who are going to come in the third segment to talk about racism in Islam, racism amongst Muslims, and we're going to streamline everything. Now, introducing my guests, I have, of course, the beautiful Amina Abdul, who is the owner and founder of Modern Fashions. I have with me Nadia, who's an entrepreneur. I have Najma Swaleh, who is a poet. And I have with me, of course, the boy child is very well represented here. I have Movia Zalwa, who is a broadcast journalist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, why is there so much hate? Before we get into the real business, why do you think there's so much hate when Islam professes peace, love, and unity? Amina.
I think it's an individual problem. It starts within our own homes. As a young child, you're told who's white, who's black, who's this color, who's not your tribe. So it stems from all those things while you're at home. And then growing up, I mean, when you leave the house, you react to other people the way you've been taught to act towards other people. So yeah, so I think the hate stems from whatever you're taught, because no child is born with hatred within them. So if you're socialized within your parents, your friends, family, and they teach you that this is how you should act towards other people, and I guess you grow up and that's exactly who you become, unless of course you choose otherwise. So yeah.
Wow, pretty interesting. Next, Nadia.
I really agree with my sister Amina that comes from our home. It's the way you brought up, our families, our community, our relative. So it's like they teach you who you are, the tribes, the colors. So once you go to the school, once you go outside the house, you think like this person is different from you. He's darker than you, he's lighter than you. You think about the color a lot.
Najma.
Okay, as for me, I think the subject racism comes as a subject of representation and inclusion. For most of the times, it's I haven't experienced it personally from my home or from wherever, but as a spoken word artist and as an author, I have been in a situation that I was meant to represent, but again, I didn't feel like I belong there. I felt like I'm here to represent certain people, not because I am supposed to be there. Muslims, for example, I have been in very many occasions that I'm the only Muslim or I'm the only woman.
Okay.
So the fact that I'm there is not because I am supposed to be there or I have the right to be there or I have the qualifications to be there. It's because I'm a woman or I'm black or I'm a Muslim. So like to sound inclusive, that's why I'm there.
Wow. Movia Zalwa, the only boy child on this set.
I think the problem begins from what the two sisters have just said. It begins from home. And personally, I think we as Muslims, we have failed to practice Islam and we are practicing our culture.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the big problem. We fail to understand exactly what Islam preaches.
But Movia Zalwa, don't you think culture is important?
Yeah, it is, but Islam is superior.
Okay.
Yeah, Islam is superior. than the culture.
Wow. Now let's get real about things. And I will personally share my experience. I am mixed race, I am Indian, and I have a little bit of Maasai. So that makes me having some Africanism in myself. I have very close friends who are Somalis. I love them, by the way. They're my sisters out there. And I got a comment one day, and I was told, you know what? Don't bring an Abdi. Who is an Abdi? Somali, right? Now, I started questioning myself, why not an Abdi? You know, because this is my friend. We can be very close friends. You don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to marriage, we cannot intermarry. Yet that person has the highest of akhlaq, and we will make a beautiful family. Yes? So I get comments like that. And when you ask, you know, why? Why can't I do it? You'll be told we need to maintain our generation. Because you're Indian, we need to purify the blood. So nowhere will I hear about, you know, the Maasai part coming in. Amina, what has your experience been?
With intercultural marriage?
No, racism.
With racism.
Colorism too.
It's small things like, okay, my skin tone is darker, which makes sense because I'm African and my parents are both black, so it shouldn't be a shocker. But somehow, maybe a relative will see you. I'm not going to mention them, but they'll just see you and they'll be like, why is she dark? Almost like you didn't come from a black family. You're my own parents, but I've had relatives say that to me. So it's almost insinuating.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes you... I'm happy to say that if I didn't have a good self-esteem, I might have followed the advice and like gotten, I don't know, lighter, maybe. And at some point, especially if you're told this, if you're in primary school and you're a child, it makes you think twice, like what's wrong with my skin tone? Should I do something about it? Exactly. Am I not pretty enough? Things like that. Of course, it crosses your mind. But alhamdulillah, I don't think it got to me to the extent where I felt like I needed to do something about my skin tone.
Thank you so much. Nadia, what has your experience been?
Well, I was married to someone who was darker than me.
Okay.
So, alhamdulillah,
same race? Same tribe?
Somali. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, I got 2 kids. My kids, they looks like the father. They're darker than me. So usually when we go out together or we go for a visit, they always mention the color. Oh God, my skin, they look darker than you. They're very dark. I mean, how come? Why you got married to someone who's darker than you, you know? Make sure next marriage you get someone who's like you. You know, it's always happen, always. So I keep like mentioning this is not important. This is color, you guys mention the color all the time. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this really, I'm worried about my kids. Like, I don't want them to grow up with cousin, family, and then they keep listening to these people about the color. Oh, you guys are darker than your mom. You guys are not like your mom. You're different. You understand? So I really,
Okay. Najma, what has your experience been?
Okay, as for me, my experience has mostly been on the culture part because I'm a Somali. Like, I'm a pure Somali. My mom is Somali, my dad's Somali. But I don't look like Somali. Mostly if I sit in between Somali people assume that I'm Swahili from Mombasa or something.
Okay.
Most people assume that. So for the many uncountable times that I've been in between people and they've talked behind my back in Somali, and then I start talking back to them Somali, like, oh my God, we are so sorry.
What do they say?
They say, okay, maybe just a comment on maybe something I've done, or like, who is this girl? She thinks she knows, because I'm an outspoken person. Like, I know where to give an opinion if I have to. So most of the times I come out as like, yeah, I'm out there. So people tend to make comments, and when I turn back, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Somali, so people feel ashamed and all that. But
wow. You have a very interesting name, a very poetic name, Drops of Melanin. Where did that come from?
Okay, when I finished high school, very many people, I think I can't even recognize most of the people that I went to school with because they all bleached and all that. So I got most comments, people asking me, oh, you can be lighter, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, I think I'm proud of who I am. Plus, I feel I look good. I'm in a position that I can say I'm okay with my color, even though I'm also the almost only dark person in my family. Like everyone is light and at least fair. So when people come, even when visitors come at home, they ask, who is this girl? And my mom's like, oh, she's my daughter. So, yeah, I've had that a lot. So one of the main reasons that I used drops of melanin was because of that. And also I used to love the quote that used to say, I'm melanin, I'm a mixture of melanin and honey, I'm black without apology.
Wow.
So that is where
Thank you
it
so
came
much,
from.
Najma. Movia Zalwa, what has your experience been?
Aisha, I think it's very, very sad that we're having this conversation of racism
In the 21st century.
in the 21st century, especially within the Muslim community, within Islam. It's so sad. You know, if it comes from the outside, people who are not Muslim, I can understand. If it comes from the people like Trump, I can understand. But within ourselves, it's so sad. And then I think one biggest mistake that we all make is making this blank statement that Somalis are racist, Indians are racist, whites are racist. I think that is wrong. That is not our tradition. That is not the tradition of Islam. Personally, I usually say there are two people in this world.
Okay.
We only have a good person and a bad person,
Okay.
despite of their race, their religion. So I think it's so sad for us to be having this conversation.
I want to take you a bit, just let's go back. What is your personal experience? What have you experienced, firsthand, whether it's at the mosque, in your home, or culturally, wherever it is, even at work?
Most of my experiences I've encountered them in the masjid, which is very, very sad. Yeah, from a group of a particular community, especially two communities. Yeah, they feel like I don't look Muslim enough. Yeah, so have you been?
Let me ask you, what is the Muslim enough look?
Perhaps they're the ones who are supposed to tell us that. I don't.
What are you and your family watching? Horizon TV, your premier Islamic TV station, bringing you the best in dawah, edutainment, inspiration, and more. Tune in now across Kenya as a free-to-air channel and on your preferred set-top box. Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Question number 1. I am 25 years old woman and recently married. My husband wants me to quit my job and be strictly a housewife. Should I obey him? First of all, both of you must understand that it is very, very important for you to refer your matters to the Quran and Sunnah. And the Holy Quran, chapter 4, verse 59, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوا
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Welcome back to the show. For those of you who are joining us right now, you are not late. The topic of discussion today is racism in Islam. Are we really one? With my lovely panelists here, we spoke about racism and our experiences in our society. And before we went for the break, we had a very short video on intercultural marriages. There are challenges and how, we have to fight to marry another community. Now, on that topic, Amina, I'll be very real with you. Would you marry a non-Somali?
Yes, I would.
What about your family?
my immediate family,
Yes.
my parents, my sisters, I think they'd be okay with it. Not I think, I know they'd
What
be
about
okay
society?
with it. But don't even go that far to society. Relatives
Okay.
will have a huge problem with it. I feel like Somalis, we already have so many tribes aside from race. So even you marrying someone who's not from your ethnic background,
It's a problem.
Is a problem already. If it's not like, I think if it's not like your third cousin or someone you know, or like the same tribe, that's the first thing people ask you. If you've met someone and you're like, oh, I've met someone, they're coming home to like ask for my hand or something, it's like, what tribe are they? Nobody cares about Islam or like, I'm sure that's like the third question, like, oh, is he religious? But it always starts with,
what is his character
what is his
like?
tribe?
That's never asked.
Yeah, that's the first thing. So I think because we're all Africans, I would say if it's a different race, but I'd be honest, for my family, I feel like they wouldn't want Arabs either. I'm not just saying they don't want a black person who's not Somali.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want Arabs either.
Why?
Because people want what they know. They just want their own community. They want something. Mostly the excuse is it's easier to deal with problems within your own tribe and things like that. But I think it just stems from a bigger problem that's racism and ethnic.
Interesting. I'll be coming to the topic of Africanism later. Nadia.
Well, for me, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind because even my first marriage was like someone who was different from me. He was Somali. So, but now for the second marriage, like still, I wouldn't mind. My family also, they wouldn't mind. But now the society, like I still listen to, like hear people telling me, make sure you don't get married.
Nadia, my director is just saying she can't hear you very properly. Please, can you fix your mic just a little bit?
So I was saying that I wouldn't mind, my family, they wouldn't mind, but now again, the society, like I still listen to, like hear people telling me like, please make sure you get married to an Arab, someone like you. Don't go to someone who's like, they still mention the color, darker than you, someone who's
Okay, Najma, I think there's a bit of a problem. Please, can you hand over the handheld mic? Yes, we couldn't get what you were saying. Yes, you were saying?
I was saying I wouldn't mind, my family, they wouldn't mind, but the community people around me, they keep mentioning that like the color. Please make sure you get married to someone who looks like you, someone who's an Arab, someone who's like lighter than you or white.
Okay.
So for me, I wouldn't mind, but it's still the people around me. And then they still mention like, make sure you get white kids like in future.
Wow, we'll be
because
coming
I
to
have
that.
mixed kids.
Okay.
I have mixed kids.
We'll be coming to that topic of mixed
Yeah.
race kids. But again, when you are with your husband, this is something very personal. When people would see you together, what comments would you get?
Well, I used to get like people, they ask me, is he your husband? Why you got married to someone who's darker than you? Why?
Wow.
You could have gone for someone who's like your family, an Arab. Why? And then I don't know why they keep mentioning the color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Najma, would you marry a non-Somali?
I will definitely marry a non-Somali. As for me, in my immediate family, it has not been a big problem because our firstborn is white. My big brother is white. So plus we have like many of my cousins and all that have been married by different cultures. But the difficulty comes when now you're married, they are going to treat that person differently.
Wow.
Yes, they will accept you at first, show you that you're welcome, but after the wedding, you will be treated differently, with or without their consent, without them knowing. Maybe they are doing something wrong to you, but yeah, it happens a lot.
Wow. Before we go to Movia Zalwa's story, we have a call coming in. Hello, Horizon TV. Hello, Horizon TV.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes,
Nam, who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
You're speaking to Mr. Ali from Mumias.
And Nam?
That's very Ali from Mumias.
Okay, how would you like to contribute to today's topic of discussion, that is racism in Islam?
Yeah, the topic about today is racism in Islam. Okay, according to the era and the national, okay, good thing it started before even the creation. Okay, when it was split up between from the generation of Idris alayhi salam.
Nam.
Okay, And that's where it started. And it started with the youth, Arabs. Arabs, okay, they're the most people who did this. And that's why Allah says, Kuntum khayra ummati, all of you people, okay, you're the great generation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then Allah says, لَكَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ I created you from ummah wahida, from one, and that means Adam alayhi salam. In fact, when I was still young, I used to know that we don't have any prophet who's black. Okay? I never knew that maybe we never heard about the prophet. But when it came to Islam lecture and the learned Quran, I found that Adam was black. Okay? The first Avana was Bilal bin Rabah, was black. Okay? Then I found out that Luqman, in Surah Luqman, he was black, he was born in Sudan. Alhamdulillah. So I was proud of this. About the time I raised my hand down when I see an Arab, an Indian, because they used to segregate Africans, even in Salah. In fact, if you're black and you go in front Salah, in front line, an Arab bone his legs together, and Imam says, it was very bad. Another thing is, I fell in love with another lady, okay, and she loved me. When she started father, he is a religious. He's a very good man. He's a very good boy. When they invited me at home, the sister of the father said, my daughter can get married in the cow, in the dog. And they call us the Jews Abidi dog up to today. It will never stop until Qiyamah. The only one who's supposed to stop this is Isa alayhi salam when he comes. Because Prophet Muhammad sallam stopped it. But now it's continuing. It's coming. It's coming. But now I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? Because the great preachers, all of them are black. We never had the Imam who is black.
Yes,
then, okay?
very true.
We never had the scholars who is black. But alhamdulillah, when you go to the Masjid Mombasa, when you go to Zanzibar, Dar es Salaam, in Rwanda, okay, even the Mufti have the black books. It has never happened. So who did this? Allah subhanahu. Where did Allah mention? You'll see them, they come to my region. In terms of the law, yes, and whoever who stands and protects my religion, they are protecting. So Allah is protecting. In fact, I was in a seminar in Saudi Arabia when the king of Saudi Arabia, he is telling the king of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Thank you so much, Ali. I wish to cut you because I'm getting direction from my director. Thank you so much for those insights. Keep watching Horizon TV. As you know, Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome will be joining us and, you know, responding to all these queries because it is something that is affecting our society. So thank you so much, Ali. And Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome is going to talk more about it. Yes, Ibrahim Oviazawa.
Yeah.
Would you marry someone who's not African?
Even before we go there, I think it makes me sick to my stomach that, you see, this issue of we can't marry from a certain ethnic group.
Yes.
It sickens me. Yeah, because actually I have a distant Swahili Arabs relatives.
Okay.
From home. And it's evident I've never seen like any of their sons or their daughters marry within the place that I come from, which is Kakamega, Mumias. People would go all the way to Dubai, to Tanzania to find spouses that are the same with that look the same like them, which is so sad. There's a statement I was just reading, I heard from Sheikh Hamza Yusuf.
Naam.
There's one of the wives of the Prophet, I've forgotten her name. There's a man told her that you're a daughter of a Jew. So she went and reported to the Prophet, and Prophet gave a very profound statement. He told him he told him to go and tell her that go tell that man that your uncle is Harun, your uncle is Moses.
Yes.
and your husband is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Movia Zalwa. Now I'll go to the mixed kids. We talked about mixed kids, and I mentioned earlier that I am a mixed child. I look Indian. Most of you will agree here, but I have African blood. Now, what is this thing that every community wants to be associated to the Arabs, okay? Their claims, Somalis want to be associated, Indians want to be associated, Africans to some extent want to be associated to Arabs. So, what happens to Africanism? Amina?
I think, especially for Muslims, because I know that happens amongst Muslims.
Yes.
And I say this very lightly.
Okay.
Because Islam came at a time, and Islam was, the Prophet ﷺ was Arab.
No.
And Islam was, what is it called, revealed to him, should I say that? So the fact that people think Arabs are the superior Muslims in a sense, because the religion was brought to them at a time where no one else knew about it. So it came to Arabs. So people feel like if they're closer to Arabs, it makes them closer to Islam and in turn closer to God.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, like, and I say that very lightly. I don't know what else
I gave a
it is.
disclaimer, so I mean, you don't have to be scared. We are just giving our opinions because Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome and Ustadha Hafswa Diko are going to come and put things into perspective, so don't be scared. Yes, Nadia, you being an Arab, you know, are there levels of being an Arab?
Well, I don't know really, but what I know that like my kids, like when we go, they go to school, all what they hear is, oh, your mom, she's white, she's lighter than you. And then my daughter, she keeps telling, Mom, I want to be like you. I'm darker than you. I want to be like, I keep telling, no, you're beautiful. You look like this beautiful. We are all same. So there's no difference between the colors. So we all same. So this is really worrying us, like worrying me a lot when they grow up, that this might affect. But I try my best, like, to make sure that, like, to tell them that we are all same, we are all one ummah, there's no difference between us. Yeah?
Wow. Najma?
Okay, as for me, I think in a way the Arabs make other people feel inferior too.
Okay.
It's not a one-way, it's not like we
one-way
as
traffic.
Somalis or Indians want to be like Arabs, but Arabs portray themselves as superior.
Okay.
So in a way that for you to feel like...
I'm black. Allah made me this way.
MashaAllah.
I appreciate the way I look.
Okay.
So the people who are not okay with this, they just have to deal with it. They have to deal with it. Yeah, we are blacks, and this is how Allah made us. So I really don't. Yeah, the only thing I would want to associate with a white person or a Somali, or it's your character, your akhlaq. That's it. But your skin color, that's none of my business.
Wow. Movia Zalwa, there's a call coming in. Hello, Horizon TV. Hello, Horizon TV. Hello, Horizon TV.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
My name is Samir.
Sorry?
And I'm calling from Eldoret.
Naam, Samir from Eldoret. How would you like to contribute to today's topic of discussion?
Well, my thoughts are that if we could, if the leadership of Muslims in Kenya could work on this issue, gradually it would go. But it appears that the top leadership that we have, especially the old owners, they don't want things to change. And this is the big group we have.
Thank you so much, Samir from Eldoret. Keep watching Horizon TV. Yes.
Aisha, maybe if I could add something on top of that is that the sad thing is that you find that majority of the population of people in Kenya, we are Africans, we are blacks. But you find that we are put in this situation by, I'd say if I could say the immigrants. Yeah, you make the Aboriginal people feel like we are now the immigrants.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Because if you look at the population of the Asian population in Kenya, it's very small. The Somali population in Kenya is very small.
But it's rising.
But yeah, it's rising, but you can't start treating other people like as if now we are the foreigners in our own country. It's so sad. Don't put people in that situation. It can be dangerous.
We've talked a lot about the problems. Now, what are the solutions? As a black person, as an African today sitting here on this set, what are the solutions? What can we do?
The first solution is basically to practice Islam the way the Prophet taught us. We should just desist from these whims that we have, like our ethnicity is superior than the rest.
Very
the solution is just in Islam.
Thank you so much, Muviazawa. Najma, what is the solution? Very briefly.
Okay, I would say my solution, according to my opinion, will be recognize your worth and know that when you're in a space, you deserve to be in that space. You don't deserve to be someone else or want to be someone else or do something that someone else is doing. Yeah.
Amazing. Nadia?
I think we should accept ourselves. We should accept everyone. We shouldn't deny anyone for their colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amina?
I think if you could understand religion, but people misinterpret it in different ways.
Okay.
So you could be religious, but that doesn't make you a good human being. So I think humanity above all, and I know a lot of Islam speaks about humanity. So if you combine the two things, I think we can deal with racism in general.
Okay, so very quickly, I would like to just read the comments that are streaming in. And we have Rashbe Ramadan. Mostly Somalis look down on us. Common Muslims, they size you, sneer when you greet them. I gave up on giving salam to them only because of what is happening. Then they're like, another person is Prince Kiumbe. Yes, it's common in this Kenyan Arabs. I was to marry an Arab lady in Thika, dating for 5 years. Later, her father akaniruka. Wow. This is amazing. There's so many things coming in. Kasim Omar says, our brothers Somalis, sometimes they go silent when greeted. They kind of stare at you with full of doubts. Historically, Arabs sailed to coastal towns before they headed to Somalia through Kismayu. That means coastarians, Nywele Ngumu. Before even I continue, what is the name that Somalis and other tribes, give Africans? What is the name?
Jerer or Adome?
Okay, what does Jerer or Adome mean?
Jerer means Nyolengumu.
Nyolengumu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I talk in my defense?
Yes, please.
In my defense, I would say it's about culture.
Okay.
This is not about religion. It's not about anything, because I've even heard there's some Somalis who have converted to other religions.
Najma, very briefly, my director is really pressuring me there behind. We don't have time.
Okay,
yes.
the Somalis who have converted to us. So I think that comes from culture. It's the way we've been brought up.
Okay.
If you come from a culture of people saying this word, you will grow knowing that word, and it will take time for people to outgrow it, or maybe go in a different situation for you to unlearn the word. So yeah, I think it's more of culture than Islam.
Wow. What a heavy topic it has been. Thank you so much for being an amazing panelist, for airing out your issues. And now there's a disclaimer that I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, that these are just our opinions. We are all struggling, but at the end of the day, this program is meant to unite our ummah and not divide us. Now, in the last segment, we're going to be having Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome and also Ustadha Hafswa Diko to put things in the Islamic perspective. But before that, I just didn't forget. We have Najma Swaleh. As I mentioned earlier, she is a poet, a very beautiful poet. Yes, take it.
Okay, I have something small for you that I've written over here, so I'm just going to recite that.
A bit louder.
Okay.
Mic up. Yes, perfect.
The first thing that I learned in school was that for any color to be brighter. It should be added to white. Anything mixed with black, it's too dark, it's too dim. It was the first time I noticed two sides of everything. Just like coins, it's day and night, it's tail and head, it's dark and bright. How comes no one says Allah created two sides? Maybe so did He create day and night. How long do you want me to know? It's not us versus them, it's not them versus us. At the end of the day, we will all be cadavers. To my 12-year-old self, you will be okay. Who always thought of a skin color, you will always be okay. It's not that skin deep, it's not even that deep. I know it was hard to hide your fears between the cracks of your fingers, but you are a dime. Thank you.
Wow, you are a dime. I am a dime. We are all dimes. Now, we'll be taking a short break. Remember, you can call us, you can text us, you can reach out to social media. This is your time to speak. Stay tuned.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation. Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
After much success in Nairobi and Kisumu, Global Expo is now coming to Eldoret from the 24th May till 9th June 2019 in Gulab Loshab Academy Hall to exhibit high-quality products such as carpets, clothes, furniture, kitchenware, cosmetics, foodstuff, and many more. Come shop and get up to 50% discount every day from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Global Expo, we are totally different.
You're watching Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Did you know that more than 2/3 of refugee children in Kenya are not attending secondary school?
They cannot go to secondary school
because of lack of space and funding.
This therefore means
we have a huge number of refugee youth
each year sitting idle in camps.
A whole generation of youths in our camps
are stuck in limbo,
are feeling desperate,
feeling rejected,
feeling hopeless and deserted.
This is why in this holy month of Ramadan,
we are on a mission
to mobilize the Muslim community in Kenya
to give refugee youth a chance at education.
Remember, this month of Ramadan
is the time when we can come together in strength and numbers
to make a difference in the lives of thousands of young people.
Join us to support the Ramadan appeal to educate the refugee children in Kenya.
You're watching Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Ramadan Timetable is brought to you by the Labbaik account from First Community Bank. Open a Labbaik account with First Community Bank and save for Hajj. First Community Bank, driven by ethics.
La 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 la, la 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 la.
Ramadan Timetable is brought to you by the Labbaik account from First Community Bank. Open a Labbaik account with First Community Bank and save for Hajj. First Community Bank, driven by ethics.
It's back. bigger and better. The original international shopping festival celebrates the end of Ramadan and pomp of Eid al-Fitr with the 22nd edition of the Egypt and Middle East Expo at the Sarit Center, Westlands. Come from Wednesday 29th May to Sunday 9th June 2019 and enjoy our beautiful items ranging from furniture, carpets, textile, kitchenware, porcelain, food products, curtains, gifts, toys, electrical home appliances and electronics, cosmetics, jewelry, perfumes and many more products from Egypt, Kenya, India, Iran, Pakistan, Turkey, Syria and Singapore. Don't miss your chance to visit us every day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are the biggest ever attended exhibition with the best affordable products at discounts of up to 50%. Come celebrate the end of Ramadan and usher in Eid al-Fitr with the 22nd Egypt and Middle East Expo only at Sarit Center, Westlands from Wednesday 29th May to Sunday 9th June 2019 from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Entry is absolutely free.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Are you finding difficulty to find us on Azam decoders? Rescan your Azam decoders and find us on channel 00.
Quote of the day. Imam Muhammad bin Idris al-Shafi'i said, "To admonish your brother in private is to advise him and improve him, but to admonish him publicly is to disgrace him and shame him."
Tune in every morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we bring you exemplary live shows.
Pata kujua unayopaswa kukumbatia katika Ramadhan. Hala ya Ramadhan.
Press play, sit back and relax as we reflect and rekindle your spirituality. Let me help you respond to all your health questions katika Siha ya Ramadhani. Afya yako, jukumu langu.
Kwa mara ya kwanza, mtoto atakuwa na sauti. Mtoto ni tunu ya jamii.
Tubonge vile ku nyaka hizo thawabu vidabodabo.
In Ramadan Synchronized, exclusive to this holy month of Ramadan, only on Horizon TV from Tuesday to Saturday.
Walk with us as we tell you the stories of our society.
Wengine atavaa mtandio kichwani, utafikiri ni kijihandkerchief.
Enzi za wakati wa kusema ati alisema, akasisitiza, akihutubia wanahabari, enzi hizo hazipo tena.
Kwa kuchimbua na kunakili matukio kwa undani.
We want to create current awareness,
ranging from adventure, human interest and inspirational stories,
ili kuweza kukuelimisha, kukuburudisha na kukubumbuisha.
Words have been said, but now it is time to lay the foundation that will impact the world.
Terrorism is terrorism, no matter who is behind the trigger.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are now at the Arena 1. And over here we have player of the day.
I'm back to beat Hamza's team.
Is it time?
I chose Surah Al-Mutaffifin. I don't know the names, but Nabi Isa said, "I am a slave of Allah." Is it Prophet Luqman?
1 point for this team.
Welcome to Active Sunday.
Things which will happen at the last day, which is very shocking.
Waylun lil mutaffifin.
That's not fair because I wasn't here.
It's a happy, happy, happy day. Oh, what a happy day it is for Active Sunday. Abu Najma with kids. We learn Quran, we learn Quran, we learn Quran, we learn Quran,
learn hadith, we learn hadith, we learn hadith, we learn hadith, we learn the doers, we learn the doers, we learn the doers, we learn the doers. We love a prophet, we love a prophet, we love a prophet, we love a prophet. Abu Najma with kids. Abu Najma with kids. We learn Quran, we learn Quran, we learn Quran, we learn Quran, we learn Hadith.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the round table with me, Aisha Khan. Now, in the first two segments, I had beautiful ladies and, of course, a gentleman who talked about racism in Islam. And as I had mentioned that Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome would join us, and also Ustadha Hafswa Diko, and they're here to put things in perspective. Now, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, before you comment on what you watched, I would like to know, have you personally encountered racism? I will start with Ustadha Hafswa.
Naam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Of course, I've passed through in marriage and also being an Ustadha. In marriage, the first time I went back to my family to tell them that I'm getting married to a guy from Central, and one of my family, a relative asked, I'm going to quote in Swahili, untuletea tena mbara kama wale wengine. So this made me think of how do
Ustadha, before we continue, what does that mean in English?
Yeah, that's why now you're bringing somebody who is coming, non-Costarian.
Okay.
So that's, you are doing the same thing someone else did. And we've seen the kids are looking like brats, something like that. So you want to do the same thing like one of your cousins did.
Okay.
And to me, it took me years to take my husband to my home because of the comments, and always saying that my kids, they are more of the word wabara and all that. So it's all about racism. And also being an Ustadha, here in Jamia, my first time, that was 2006 when I started giving lectures here in Jamia. So the women in the masjid, the security used to call ladies to come and sit, listen for the darsas. And some were saying, how can I really sit down and listen to that gurale? That's the name. And to me, I was like, is it a nickname? Okay, up to date, maybe Sheikh will explain to me. I don't know. But alhamdulillah, later on, the same lady with the friends, they always sit down and they're, number one, asking me questions. And they apologized for that. And up to now, I don't really know the meaning. And not only that, when I opened my madrasa in Athi River, a group of people were saying that we are not supposed to take our kids to Ustadha Hafswa's madrasa because she's Muswahili. So, now when the kids come, they bring kids because they don't have alternative. By then there was no any other madrasa in Athi River apart from the masjid madrasa. Then they came with conditions. If you want our kids to be in your madrasa, you have to set a class for them. These others are Abid and these others. And to me, I was like, okay, if they are here to learn about Quran, they'll sit down like others. Not so, I can't. So there are so many experiences that I've gone through with racism, and alhamdulillah, here I am.
Amazing and very, very sad. Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome, what is your experience when it comes to racism?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. I think let me begin first of all by explaining what gurare means. I don't belong to any of those people who call others gurare, but because I've been called a gurare, I know the meaning. The people from the upper eastern of Kenya, the Boranas or the Borana speaking or the Gare speaking, that is the name they call people who do not belong to their tribe. They call them Gurare. So people who do not have the physique, the hair texture of those people there, all those are called Gurare. Okay. It is the equivalent of the Adon by the Somalis, Madmado, Cherer, Yolengomu, yani hard hair, kinky hair, yani not soft hair, and also the equivalent of Nasab Diman, those whose Nasab is not complete, is defective. So that's what they meant by calling you Gurare.
Sheikh, let me talk for the Indians. They say Golo. Okay. For the Africans.
Or Kala.
Kala, yes.
When I was in Pakistan, I was called Kala.
Oh my
God. I used to be called Kala because I went to Pakistan to study there. That's where I did my university education.
Wow.
And Islam, I studied Islam there.
Okay.
I come from a family that converted from Christianity to Islam. The first experience is we were taken to a duksi, a madrasa, because everybody was a Somali. My father, may Allah have mercy on him, became a Muslim by interacting with the Somalis. Even where I was born, it was called Kambi Somali in Naivasha. The next thing we were taken to duksi, madrasa. Okay, it was being taught in Kisomali, Alif La Korebe, Alif La Hostebe, Alif La Gode. So the alphabet in. My biggest problem was, of course, the beating. Which I'm totally against. I hope Ustadha Hafswa children are not beaten in your madrasa. It was terrible. Number two, every day I would be called, I had to explain as I'm getting to the madrasa whether I'm a Muslim or not because of my hair texture. That was a big problem. To the extent that at one time I almost told my father, can we go back to Christianity because of that treatment? Of course, later in life, other experiences. But I came to discover, because I studied with Somalis who are knowledgeable in Islam. Very close to me, my friends. I realized it's because of ignorance of the teachings of Islam. All those people who call others those demeaning names, they could be, I heard somebody saying it is our culture. Let me tell you one thing, Aisha, you should know. Once you embrace Islam, if there is anything in your culture that conflicts with Islam, then to hell with your culture, we follow Islam. That is the problem. Like if your culture is such that it is acceptable to call other people names according to their disability or according to their color, that's your culture. Islam does not allow that. Islam tells you don't call a person a name that they don't like. Okay? So there is a problem. We have a problem here. But unfortunately, many people now tend to judge Islam based on our character ourselves, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we relate ourselves. And I think we are here now to put it in the right perspective, to correct that misconceptions. Is that Islam or not Islam? And definitely, I have to say here, outrightly, it's not Islam. Because number one, Aisha, did you apply to be born Indian Maasai? No. Did you apply to be Costarian? I never applied to be a Maasai. It is Allah's creation. Are you trying to say that it was an accident? That's wrong. We should accept it was Allah's plan. A simple ayah in the Quran, Surah Hujurat, verse number 13. Ya ayyuhan nas. Actually, Allah does not address Muslims here. It's every person. Ya ayyuhan nas. All people. Black, white, Arabs, Swahilis, whatever. Inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. We created you from one man and one woman. I pause here and ask you, and Ustadha here, Adam and Hawa, what color were they? What race did they belong to? They were just human beings. And all of them, us came from them. It's Allah's might. This is the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should appreciate that. Then he says, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلًا. Then we made you into nations. I didn't choose to be Maasai. I didn't choose to be Kenyan even. It's Allah's plan. And it's only for the purpose of knowing each other, not for the purpose of putting others down and others up. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The best amongst you is the most God-fearing. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew us and the problems that we have as human beings, He sent a Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and gave him wahi, because whatever the Prophet told us is wahi. In huwa illa wahyun yuha. Wal ma yantiqu anil hawa. Whatever he tells us is not from his whims. It's wahi. He said, La fadla lil arabiyyin ala al ajami. Wala lil ajami ala al arabi. Illa bittaqwa. Kullukum min Adam wa Adam min turab. Because they saw it coming. And it started even during the days of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The treatment that Bilal
sorry
got.
for cutting you
Yes.
short. There's a call coming in.
Okay.
Horizon TV, hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Horizon TV, hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
Mimi naitwa Hamisi
Naam.
na natoka upande wa Kwale.
Naam Hamisi, tuambie.
Nilikuwa na swali lakini hili swali laja kwako tu.
Naam Hamisi, niambie.
Kama sijakosea,
Naam.
nimesikia kidogo Sheikh hapo akikuongelesha akisema wewe ni Muhindi.
Na Masai. Naam.
Sasa nilikuwa nauliza. Wewe sasa hii kutoka huku Kwale labda mimi ni Mdigo.
Naam.
Nikupropozie nikwambie nataka kuoa. Wewe mwenyewe utakubali?
Sina shida yoyote because at the end of the day, in as much as mimi ni Mwindi na Masai, I believe that if someone is of good character, I would give that person a chance. Lakini ningependa tu kusema I am taken and this conversation will continue later. Thank you so much for calling and keep watching Horizon TV. Naam Sheikh.
Yeah. So what I'm saying here is this. Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came to block that because he knew it's happening. Bilal suffered. And look at the first community surrounding the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was not accidental that we have a black person here, we have an Arab, we have a Persian and other tribes. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was trying to build that universal brotherhood.
Yes.
Muslims from different races, different colors, different tribes. And here, the standard of judging who is better is taqwa, not the color. Then something happened again. And all those incidences that were happening during the days of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are lessons for us. A child from the Muhajirin fought with a child from the Ansar. Then each one of them was calling their tribe to come and help them. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam reprimanded them and say, this is da'watu jahiliyyah, da'uha fa innaha muntina. It's smelling. It's stinking. Stop it. That is tribalism.
Yes.
Then somebody comes and proposes to you. These days, what do we look at? From which tribe are they? She
Which
just gave
tribe?
us the experience.
What color?
What is he driving? If he comes with the this tuk-tuk, no tuk-tuk or even boda is out. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us what? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us what? إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. Two things. Religion, but that's not enough because it has to be put into practice. The character. Simple. Nothing else. And then I want to tell that person who is talking about you, marriage is a very personal thing again.
Yes.
There is no problem if I decide I want to marry a light-colored person. That's my personal choice.
Very true.
The problem is looking down upon the others. If I decide I want to marry a person from a certain race, that's a personal choice, and I'm not putting down anybody. Okay? I'm just following my heart. It has to be a person I am pleased with. So even that person from Kwale, if you want to marry a mixture of an Indian and Maasai, there are many, but it depends on the personal decision of that person and yourself. So this is very personal.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, for that. Now, Ustadha Hafswa, did the Prophet, peace be upon him, ever marry a non-Arab?
Yeah. Like Sophia from the Jews. And Alhamdulillah, what I always take it amazing, and Rasul being our Qudwat and Hasana, is when Rasul asked Aisha and other wives to go and see Aisha, sorry, Sophia, in the house of Hawla. And when she went and she came out, and Rasul asked her, what do you think about her? And she said, Ra'aytuha Yahudiyan. There is nothing that is unique in her, she's just a Yahudi. But Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam cautioned her immediately. It's not about where she's coming from. To me, that is my choice, and not only as the Sheikh quoted, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَى. And Rasul never used to do anything just for his own instincts or whatever the feelings, but it is a call. Guidelines from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and many other wives that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him. But he never downlooked at them because of where they're coming from. If he did that, that was a sunnah to all of us then to do it. But now we can find people going against that in marriages. Someone is marrying another tribe. Then we'll give you an example of a client of mine who is telling me, Ustadha, I'm going to get married. I love this guy. But he's telling me, remember, to my culture, I must get somebody from my culture. So prepare yourself, because I will be disowned. I'll never be happy unless I get someone who is coming from my culture. So which means this person who is going to come after me, I'm already married, and coming from that culture or a tribe of my husband, I'm going to be downlooked, like an outsider, outcast and all that, which is wrong, and Rasul never did that. So if we claim or we call ourselves Muslims, can we look at how Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was relating with his wives and everybody around him? If it was based on tribe and where you are coming from, or a level of wealth and all that, I think up to now we wouldn't be like this.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ustadha. Now, there is this intercultural marriages going on. I want to be very practical, Sheikh. Today there are people out there, and I know some of them, maybe I don't, but I want to be the voice for the voiceless, where let's say there is a girl and boy, they have liked each other, and you know, they are of good character, they want to get married. And today their families are coming and wanting to spoil it. Sheikh, I want you to give advice. What can these two do to make it work? Can they elope? Is it allowed?
And maybe I can give Sheikh a case
No.
that I handled last year. Came to me a client. She's married for 8 years, but now the husband came back from Umrah, and as she was preparing for the husband and all that, the husband came, went direct to the bedroom and picked his bag. When he said, okay, welcome back, darling, how was your Umrah? And here's the surprise. He said, I promised my mom while we were there at Umrah that I'm going to leave you because you're not belonging to my... And what about the kids? I'm going to pay rent, I'm going to do everything. But the fact that I have to make my mom happy, and I promised her, I cannot even spend few minutes to be in this house. And this kind of sister, to tell you the truth, Sheikh, for now it's 4 years, nobody knows in her family. She came to me as a client for counseling. Nobody knows that she's already divorced, but she's trying to because of the kids. They have to fake. But she's already divorced, and the husband went, so because she's
pretending that she's still married.
She's still married. But because of now the culture and the tribe thing, people are suffering. Now being a counselor and also Ustadha, women don't talk about this, as she said. But they suffer in their marriages
shameful. It
because
is happening.
We don't want to be noticed. We are coming from different tribe, or others they marry but they hide them. Yes.
You know, for me, Aisha and Ustadha, this is very simple.
Yeah.
It's either we follow what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do, what is right according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet, or our culture or our mothers. Okay, we are told to obey our parents. And this man might claim he's obeying the mother. But we are told, La ta'ata li makhluqin fi ma'asiyatillah. You cannot obey a human being at the expense of disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what wrong did this woman do to deserve the divorce? Okay, divorce is there in Islam. But what are we told about divorce? That it is the most hateful in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of all the permitted things. It's permitted just as a last resort. You just come, just because you've been told by your mother, you want to please your mother, you divorce this poor woman just because she belongs to another tribe. This is jahiliyyah. For me, this is jahiliyyah murakkab, complex ignorance of religion.
Okay.
Now, the question you posed to me, these two people, both Muslims, and I could see the emphasis about their character, good Muslims and the rest. That is what matters in Islam. And then, just because the parents are not happy, they want to spoil that. I want to speak to fellow parents. I'm a father to 4 daughters also.
Mashallah.
I don't know who will marry them, as long one is married now by a Somali, came to me. And the only thing, I didn't care whether he's a Somali or not, is a good Muslim, not chewing mirror and going to pray. That is all I cared. I didn't even care about where he works or whatever. As long as he's able to feed himself and my daughter, that's okay. I'll even support them.
Yes.
Now, the parents stop their children from getting married just because of race. That is jahiliyyah. So I don't want to blame them. I want to give them an excuse. They need to be educated. Those parents need to be educated. And if you're watching me and you are that kind of a parent, ittaqillah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These children could have decided to go and commit zina. They've decided to do the right thing. You're stopping them from doing the right thing. What will you say on the day of Qiyamah? And if they go astray, what will you say? You stop them. And what does the Prophet ﷺ say about the right person coming to you? Whoever has good character and is a Muslim, a religious person. فَزَوِّجُوهُ صِيغَةُ أَمْرٍ. Marry them off. Allow them to get married. What happens? What is the consequences of not allowing them?
Yes, is that
إِن لَمْ
punishment?
تَفْعَلْ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ وَفَسَادٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ. There will be a lot of fitna and bad things, evil, immorality. And this is what we are seeing. Some girls who have been stopped from marrying a person who is of good character, just because of the race, they end up there in the streets.
True.
What are you
ending up in the street? I had a case of 4 girls came to me. They're in the university, married because their parents refused. And since they are going to be in the university for 4 years, so I don't know where they got the wali and the sheikh and the nikah was passed. So because of what? If I go home, my parents will refuse this guy. He's not coming from my tribe or the class or the kind of job he's doing. They're not going to accept. So we are pushing our kids to do the wrong things and to go astray. And that's why we'll find a girl came to me here in Jamia with a kid saying that, Ustadha, I'm looking for an orphanage that I can take my kid. Yes, then she was telling me, sio manaharamu huyu. I mean, we already had a nikah, but what if my parents get to know? I'm in university for 4 years, now I have a kid. So I just want to take my kids to her. So you see, all this is because of race. Racism.
Now, I have a question coming in there. Sheikh Lithome, according to the Indians and very many races, we have names for the mixed race. When you look at a mixed race, Mzungu and Mwafrika, mashallah, nice kinky hair, beautiful eyes. Lakini Sheikh, in our homes, if you're a mixed race, you're segregated. They call them chotaras. That is one of the names. Yes, but don't you think, Sheikh, that is the best of example of Islam? Because Allah says, I have created nations and tribes for you to know each other. But again, as I was doing my research, someone came up to me and told me, Allah ameandika kwa Quran kweli, you know, we have created nations and tribes. But Aisha, Allah has created Somalis, Indians, Arabs, and all those other tribes because He wants them to stick like that. Aisha, what do you have to say about that?
Aisha, there are 2 things here and I have to explain. Number 1, I didn't choose to be who I am. Neither did you choose to be who you are. Be proud of that. Somali, be proud to be a Somali. Indian, Muhindi, Punjabi, Memon, whatever. Be proud of who you are, because by so doing, you are appreciating the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What you should not do is now looking down upon others. That is a problem here. There's no problem. I'm an Arab. But now when you as an Arab, you feel superior because of you're an Arab. You're a Kikuyu, you feel superior because of being a Kikuyu. That is why we have a problem in Islam.
Does Islam have a tribe?
Islam has no tribe. We have no tribe in Islam. But Islam is not against tribes. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
I am not a Maasai by accident. It is Allah's plan that I'm a Maasai. But I should not look down upon other people who do not belong to that. If you're a Bajuni, and let me tell you, the disease now we have, that's the depth of the disease. You go to Coast Province. The Swahilis who are not Arabs will always tell people, tutaonyesha hata sisi tuna damu ya Kiarabu. Especially women, they have that problem. Tutaonyesha. Why do you want to show other people na una damu ya Kiarabu? Kwani ukiwa na damu yako haitoshi hiyo? And for me, this it's because of Jahiliyyah. Again, the consequences of that. Anything light or anybody lighter is seen as better. And it's being promoted even in our media houses, in our advertisements and the rest. You find that almost every media house now, the leading media houses, and I'm not pointing at you, Aisha, they have one leading presenter or 2 who is very light. Now, the ones who are not light, and I know them from their history, some of them I interviewed them when they started their work in the media. I no longer recognize them. And it's because they have seen somebody in that media house who is light and being promoted so much, and they want to be like them. And today they look like them. But not naturally. It's because they have changed the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have created... So no problem. Accept what Allah gave you.
Sheikh, just 1 minute. There's a question coming in. There's a call coming in, sorry. Horizon TV, hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Salma and I'm calling from Mombasa.
Naam Salma, how would you like to contribute to today's topic of discussion?
Okay, so my contribution is this. You see, the way we talk about racism has no place in Islam, and we have all these, what would I say, dalil from the Quran and Sunnah, right?
Naam.
But my question is this, sometimes this racism happens in our madrasas, like where you actually go to learn religion and everything. Your ustad or ustaza is the one who's practicing this racism. So how exactly can this be combated? Because you get maybe an ustad is teaching people about Arabic and maybe how to pronounce things, and we all come from different places, right? So we have people who have they have difficulty in pronouncing. So you get an ustad from there. Kwani wewe unatoka kwa kabila gani huwezi kupronounce hii hai? And you see, so that makes, I don't know, it kind of belittles people, and I don't think that's good, because we go there to study religion and everything, but then whoever is supposed to teach you the correct way is actually practicing that racism.
Thank you so much, Salma from Mombasa. Keep watching Horizon TV. Now I will come to you, Ustadha Hafswa.
No.
How would you respond to Salma?
What she's saying, it's true. It's happening, which is totally wrong. Us as Muslim leaders, we have to be qudwatun hasana, because as Sheikh quoted, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, we shouldn't follow that way. That is jahiliyyah. Because this person has come all the way to learn what I'm going to offer this person. It is my duty. I am responsible to help that person to get what she or he wanted to know. So we have to work on ourselves as Muslim leaders. We have to be qudwatun hasana, role model to others. We have to be real Muslims and to follow the ayats. Not only to maybe kids, but it also happens to other masjids, whereby somebody comes from another tribe going to maybe wants to convert, but he came with just anakatu hivi. That's how I can call it. He has nothing, according to them. So they're going to keep him packing or keep her packing weight, and that happened to Rasul. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not that he kept somebody packing. When Allah said abasa wa tawalla, when Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was dealing with the other the royals or the chiefs of in Arab, the Quraysh, then came somebody, had some questions to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he said, okay, just wait a minute, I'm coming. And immediately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cautioned him, what you are doing is wrong. Maybe he is going to follow, to believe in you, than those who are there with their money, with their joho and all that. But here we are as ustadhas and sheikhs and ma'alims. If it's just somebody from slums or from nowhere, we'll be told, wait, or just go to Jamia find Sheikh Jumamir, or because why? He doesn't have anything. But somebody comes with a car and, you know, with a family, with a big phone and a key. Because of what? Mal or money or status and all that.
Thank you so much, Ustadha. Now, Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome, I will come to you as we're winding up the show. We had the Prophet's companion, that was Bilal. Very briefly, what was his significance in Islam?
Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to show us that Islam is not for one race or one color. That's why this very black person comes in. So that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, things can happen, and then we draw lessons from that. Remember, the person who insulted Bilal among the Sahabas, and he said, you, the son of a black slave. And another one even says, you son of a crow. You know, a crow is black.
Yes.
The Prophet immediately responded, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and said, I can see in you jahiliyyah. And that is the message you are giving out there. You could be an ustad, a sheikh, a parent. If that's the way you look at people, according to their color, I see in you jahiliyyah. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he came in so that we can learn those lessons. But where is the destiny of Bilal eventually? The muaddin of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was so close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said, he's from amongst my people. He called him Ahlul Bayt. He called Salman al-Farisi Ahlul Bayt because of taqwa, not because of the color. Where is the destiny of Bilal? Jannah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that he'll go to Jannah. So he came in as, that is the significance that this religion has no tribe. Let me say something about Arabic language. People need to separate between being an Arab and Arabic language. The Quran was revealed in the language of Arabic, and it's upon us to learn that language. I might have a problem. I don't want to pronounce Arabic like a Saudi, but let me pronounce it the way it is proper to read the Quran. That should be the effort. So when I'm struggling to learn Arabic and even pushing my son to speak Arabic, it's not because I want them to be a Saudi. They will never be. They're Masais. But I want them to be able to read the language of the Quran. So we need to separate that. Arabic does not belong to the Arabs. It belongs to us because the Quran was revealed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala found it fit to reveal it in Arabic. So when we're learning Arabic, we are not trying to be Arabs. And I know they say that if you're not an Arab, you'll have a problem with the Ain and the word and the rest. I will struggle with that. I struggled with that. For them, they are born doing that. Okay, Aisha, you know what? This program is not enough to discuss this problem. It's such a big problem because we need to discuss the problem in depth and then what are the solutions. Very good, from the Quran and Sunnah. So I'm demanding from your director and from the manager, we need a full program, maybe after Ramadan.
They can hear you very well.
This, yes.
She says granted.
Yes.
Naam.
Okay, now maybe
Ustadha, to wrap up the show, because my director is really rushing me.
Maybe something not necessarily, to me it's not exactly racism, but it's also part of race. When somebody is asking, where did you school? From which mahad did you graduated? From this imam, where is he coming from? A graduate from Medina or just a local wherever? Sheikh, is this also race?
No, it's you can say it is discrimination based on where did you study. I should not judge you on the basis of where you went to school, the village you came from. I should judge you with the qualities that you have now, not where you came from. Actually, if people were to judge me from where I came from, Masai and Huko, wearing Ginyera and looking after cows, I will not be sitting here today, but I'm being judged by who I am today. It doesn't matter where I was born. It doesn't matter where I went to school. Do I have the knowledge?
They say every sinner has a past, but they also have a very bright future.
You've said it.
Yes. Sheikh, there's just one thing, and my director is going to give me this chance to ask you these two questions.
Okay.
Now, there's a problem, and it's all over social media when I was reading the comments, such that when someone is greeted, you know, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, people don't reply. Shortly, Sheikh, you know, I am buying time here. So very briefly, how can you respond to that concern?
Again, this is jahiliyyah, lack of knowledge of Islam. You're told when you meet a fellow Muslim, it is you're supposed to say Assalamu alaikum. Answering is wajib. If you do not respond, unapata madhambi, you're sinning. You must respond to Assalamu alaikum, and it should be better. If somebody says Assalamu alaikum, yours should be wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
If they don't, you leave them alone.
Of course, you've done your part. They will deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Sheikh, one last question. I said two.
Yes.
Is I need a proper solution to a couple struggling right now. They love each other. Okay, let me not use love. It's really, they say love comes after marriage. Let me look at, they like each other and they want to get married, but the parents are a problem. What can they do? A very practical example.
Number one,
those
parents need to be counseled, first of all. Can they approach somebody who is knowledgeable, who the parents can listen to? If they completely refuse, even after being counseled, now I know the girl needs a wali for her marriage. The teachings of Islam are very clear. فَالسُّلْطَانُ وَلِيٌّ مَنْ لَا وَلِيَ لَهُ. The leader of Islam becomes now the wali of a person who was not a wali. Like today, if a girl becomes from Christianity, she reverts to Islam and she wants to get married, it will be the Qadi or the registrar. Sheikh Muhammad Salih and others are doing that. The laws of Kenya recognizes the Qadi as the person who can become a wali for a person who is not a wali. You just need to prove that your parents have refused, they have been cancelled, then you swear an affidavit, and I'm advising that couple now and tell them that they should go to the Qadi here, swear, and the girl swears an affidavit, the man doesn't need a wali, and they'll be married. But caution here, don't be disobedient to your parents. So try all means of talking to them nicely. If they can't listen to you, get somebody who can go and talk to them. Get an imam. Get me to go and talk to them. I'll try to tell them what religion says.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Thank you, Ustadha, for coming on board. And may we unite this Muslim ummah of ours and not divide them further. Thank you so much. Until next time. Now we have come to the end of this program. My last words are, no one chooses to be born how they are. Not their color, not their race, not their ethnicity. So now, next time you look at someone, think twice. This has been the Roundtable with me, Aisha Khan, where we discuss controversial issues that are a bit uncomfortable and we think we shouldn't talk because they're embarrassing. But the journey at Horizon TV and the Roundtable has just begun. Now remember tomorrow to join Ibtisam Jamal on the Tunu Toto Show. She has something special for you and the Totos out there. And before I sign out, I have a very short, beautiful video for you. Ma'assalam, until next time.
We are one humankind, brothers side by side.